Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this FB4 Daily for Saturday, the 6th of July. Not much going on transfer-wise, I'm going to be honest with you, straight from the off. But look, we have a few bits to get through, and as I said, all your comments, lash them all in, and whatever way it goes, we'll start chatting and see where it takes us for the next 25 minutes or so. First up, most importantly, this one today is brought to you by another excellent sponsor of ours. It's brought to you by More Than a Game. More Than a Game is a company that does Liverpool merch again. It does key rings, cups, mugs, t-shirt, everything. Loads of different bits. Get onto them on Twitter at More Than a Game UK, or on your web at la.co.uk. That's la-la-la.co.uk. Get onto them. They're really good. Really good stuff. They'll be giving us a prize in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you stay tuned, and there's prizes coming next week and the week after and the week after that. But look, get onto them. They're really good. I'm on time again. Yeah, I am good. It was definitely Grizz that was causing us to be late. Definitely. Paul Taveley has just called me Daz. I'm going to have to block Paul for that. I'm only messing with you. I'm not going to block anyone. But look, yeah, so that's the sponsor of More Than a Game. Get on there on Twitter, and if you go onto their Twitter at More Than a Game UK, you'll find everything you need to know about them, all their merch and all the different bits and pieces that they do. What are we going to start with? Oh, sorry, quickly. If you're watching this, okay, you're watching it on Periscope, you're watching it on YouTube, do me a favour, follow us on Periscope, go and subscribe to us on YouTube at LFC Day Trippers channel. Subscribe there. The more people we get subscribed, the more people that will listen, watch, comment, the more arguments we can have, the more debates we can have, and different things like that. So that's just a quick call out for that. Just please, just follow us on Twitter, follow us on Periscope, subscribe on YouTube. You get all our stuff on Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. All our stuff is there. You can get us on Spotify. You can get us everywhere. So look, just if you can follow us wherever you can, and tell your friends, tell all your Liverpool supporting friends, and look, the more people we get on this, the better, because it leads to more debate and stuff like that. One of the lads says he misses the Fatback 4 with Grizz, Ian and Matt. We need the full crew back. We're going to do our best to do that for you, promise. Grizz, he's not well at the moment. He's a little bit under the weather, but he'll be back for Monday, I'd say. Matt is in Dubai. He lives in Dubai. He's busy going to weddings and different things like that at the moment. Ian is up to his eyes with work, but look, we will do our best to try to get the forwards back on at some stage. The Fatback 4 pod will try and do a weekly show. We're just working out what times and stuff are best for us. Right, moving on. Let's get on to it. First thing, Bobby Firmino signed for Liverpool on this day, 2015, 4 years ago. What a signing from Hoffenheim. He's, in my opinion, he's probably the first name on the team sheet. I think Klopp is so dedicated to having Bobby Firmino. I just want to know, first question for all of you, your favourite Bobby Firmino moment. It can be a goal, it can be a bit of trickery, it can be a celebration, it can be anything. Just, send it in, and we'll have a chat. We may jump from topic back to Bobby Firmino, but that's what we do. We don't do structure here. We take it as it comes and see how it goes. So Bobby Firmino, an excellent signing for Liverpool. 4 years at the club now, an integral part of us winning the Champions League last season. He's going to be an integral part of us going forward. So your favourite Bobby Firmino moment, throw it in there, and we'll keep jumping back and forward as we go. Pre-season is back. I think everyone was in this morning. I've seen a couple of videos on the LFC official Twitter page. Klopp arriving at Melwood, meeting his staff. He meets Sepp van den Berg, he's a big lad, him, isn't he? He's a big lad. Like Klopp's no midget, but this young lad Sepp, big lad, had a nice little chat with Klopp, and yeah, let's see how he goes. Me and Shawnee were having a discussion this morning. Shawnee reckons he's first team material. I don't think so. I think it's, if he makes three starts this season, I think he'll be doing well, but we'll see how it goes, and who gets the bragging rights between me and Shawnee. Most people will back Shawnee because he's beautiful, and Alisson Becker takes his looks from Shawnee. So if you want to back Shawnee, I've no issue with that. Yeah, so the season is back. Just a tweet there about 25 minutes ago come out, and they're doing the laps of Melwood, and surprisingly, James Milner is the fittest of them all. He pips Joe Gomez for the best at doing laps around Melwood. The lactate test, they call it, apparently. They start taking pieces of your ear off at the end and everything. So James Milner, a machine as usual. He's out, he's off and running. It's July the 6th and James Milner looks ready. He was running up hills and stuff the other day, so James Milner's been keeping himself in very, very good shape. Chris Gleeson says the best Bobby moment, the goal against the lob after he bullied Stones. Yeah, it was brilliant. That one I thought was going to be a free out given, but nice shoulder, beautiful chip. It took an age to go in. I think it might have been Danilo. Was it Danilo trying to get back? I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was a good one in off the post. Royal Lukeman says, do you think it's possible Liverpool will not do any business in the summer? No, I was on Radio City Talk yesterday and they were asking me the exact same question, and I said out straight 2 or 3 signings. I think it'll be 3. I genuinely believe that, but against that, Klopp's the main man. Klopp knows what he wants, he knows what he needs, he knows the ability his players have. Some fans may not like that with regards to certain players, but look, he's Klopp knows what he's at. You know, I think he's enough credit in the bank for us to say, yeah, look, for argument's sake, if he goes and signs 1 this summer, he has enough credit in the bank to allow him to go and do that and see where we go. People are going to get spooked by the likes of City doing bits that they've already done, and will probably do more. Spurs are doing a bit. United will do a bit. Arsenal, I don't know what they're at. Chelsea can't do anything. They've made a mad announcement in Lampard being their manager. But look, us and City were miles ahead of everyone else last season. If we say at the consistency we are, I think it'll be still 10, 15 points better than anybody else around us. Age doesn't affect Milner. No, it doesn't seem to. He's about 4 years younger than me, and my Jesus, it's night and day. Like, I couldn't do a lap of Melwood, never mind what he's at. He's an absolute machine. He's a model professional. And look, Milner has a year left on his deal, and I seen somebody the other day, and I'm sorry, I apologise, I can't remember who. I think it was an article that was written saying, Milner to stay on forward at the club. Listen, if Milner wants to stay on another year, and he knows that the leg, it might be catching up on him, he's great to have around the place. You know, he's a perfect candidate to be some sort of coach at Liverpool and to be involved in the around the first team squad for years to come, because his mentality and the way he speaks, and he G's the lads up. He knows what to say. He knows what way to approach things. He's excellent. People had their doubts about Milner. I think he signed the same summer as Firmino, and things were a bit patchy under Rodgers and a little bit under Klopp, I suppose. And then he done a season at left back, which I thought he was outstanding. And then there was worries about him again, but he comes back stronger. Milner is the model professional, and for him to win a Champions League with Liverpool, I think tops off everything at Liverpool for him. He got what he deserved, and for me to have him around for a couple of years more as a player or a coach, yeah, I'm all for that. Absolutely all for that. My wish list: left full and versatile forward. Left full, yeah. If you can find the right one to fit in, that the squad status where Robertson is number 1, there's no doubt about that. But if you can find somebody that can push Robertson, push Robertson all the way. The more you push Robertson, the impression I get is that Robertson will just react and get better and better. A versatile forward, you need to be careful with the word versatile. I think I don't want somebody that is okay at a couple of positions. I'd like somebody that's really, really good in one position, or really, really good in 2 or 3 positions. This is why I've championed Fekir. Probably this year more than last year, I think, just watching what we done last year and what Fekir could bring to the party. Pepe, for instance, asks Barrett if we'll only go for Pepe if someone leaves. I'm not too sure. I think Liverpool are in the position where they can bring the likes of a Pepe in, and it complements what we have there already. And listen, it's a squad game. I keep saying this, it's a squad game. Not for the last couple of games of the season when you're trying to rest players because you might have a Champions League semi-final or a final. It's a squad game day one, and if you can rotate effectively from day one, you just get stronger and stronger as the season goes on. When squads that aren't as big, a la Spurs, will drop off. So it's a squad game. If Pepe can come in and be as good as people suggest he is, yeah, I'm all for that. Put him in there and let's see how we get on. Yeah, the first game of the season, or the first game of pre-season, sorry, is next Thursday. It's away to Tranmere at Prenton Park. Um, there's an interesting one this morning with regards to Kevon Kelleher. He broke a wrist. He's had to have surgery. He's going to miss pre-season. It leaves Liverpool in a little bit of a conundrum. I think Gabara is still away. I think Mignolet might be. I'm not too sure if Mignolet is back, but obviously Alisson is still away. So it's interesting to see what way it goes for the goalkeeper over the pre-season, and also for the season ahead. You know, with this guy missing pre-season, if he's out for it could be 6-8 weeks. Could it be with a broken wrist? I'm not no sort of medic, but 6 to 8 weeks maybe. Before he can probably train. You know, it does put a little bit of doubt into the future of Mignolet. A lot of people thought Mignolet might leave, me included, but we might need to revise that because of, you know, what's happened with Kevon Kelleher, who was the third goalkeeper in the squad for the Champions League and would look to be the successor to Mignolet should he leave as number 2 at Liverpool. So yeah, it's a little bit strange. Look, we wish Kelleher all the best. We hope he's back as soon as possible. You know, it's one of those things. It's an unfortunate injury, but it's one he can come back from. You know, the last one I can remember was Karius broke a finger in pre-season, was out for a little while, and I think that hindered him a little bit because he was coming back he didn't get that pre-season where he could really get his feet under the table, and it might have affected Karius going forward. Now we all know what happened, you know, subsequently with Karius, but I hope Kelleher gets back. I hope Karius comes back, or not Karius, Kelleher comes back as quick as possible, fight and fit, and back into the squad where he's been for the majority of last season. Shaqiri has a calf injury. He picked her up on international duty for Switzerland. He will be back and he will be assessed by the Liverpool medics, but should be okay in a couple of weeks apparently. Naby Keita has been assessed by the Liverpool medics. You know, it's one of those where he should be okay again for pre-season. I really hope he is. I think he's one that needs a good pre-season with Liverpool and hit the ground running in pre-season. Never mind first days of the season. I think Naby Keita needs to be flying, absolutely flying, come the start of the season. But he's been assessed. Apparently everything's not okay with him, but he will be okay. Come the start of the American tour, I think. We have Tranmere on Thursday, then we go to Bradford away. So you're going to see a lot of fringe players, those lads that have turned up today for training. I know the likes of Milner is in there, Klein is in there, Gomez is in there, Matip is in there, but you're going to see a lot of fringe players, the likes of Curtis Jones. Hopefully Brewster gets a chance. But look, we'll see how it goes with regards to them. One thing that popped up today, I seen it and it was interesting because the lads were talking about this maybe a week or two ago. It was Dani Alves. Steve Brown was chatting about him, and he was all over Dani Alves as a possible Liverpool signing. Me, myself, honestly, I didn't think so. I think the amount of money he would be looking for and the game time he may be looking for could influence and affect Trent's progression. I think Trent, you know, he nailed himself as number 1 right back for Liverpool and possibly for England. But Dani Alves, what do you think? Dani Alves, anyone take Dani Alves? I think left back is more of an issue for us. I really do. I think it's, you know, we have players there that can go right back, although I'm not a fan of Joe Gomez going there. And somebody's mentioned Fabinho, saying he's going to be fantastic next season. I don't really want to see Fabinho there either. So listen, maybe a look at Dani Alves. As I said, I was one that kind of said no to it. A couple of lads said yes to it. What do you think, Dani Alves? Throw in your in the comments there and we'll have a chat about it. Any more good Firmino? Any more good Firmino moments? Keep throwing them in there. Paul Tabley asks who goes out on loan next season. It's an interesting one. Woodburn is probably one. Curtis Jones is probably one. Wilson is up in the air. There's genuinely 3 options for Wilson. He could fly in pre-season and we decided to give him a chance in the squad. He could go out on loan, could be sold. Ryan Kent looks like he is making a move away. He's been linked. I think he was linked with Leeds yesterday. Rangers are still on his tail. I think he'll end up being sold. But there's a couple of players there that can go out on loan. We'll have to wait and see. It'll all depend on how the tour goes in America, how the lads are feeling coming back. You know, Klopp is going to have to assess this and assess it quite quickly. You know, he doesn't have a lot of time. I think the last game, late July, is the last game for in America, and then we have the Charity Shield coming up. I think we have a game between America and the Charity Shield as well. So he's going to have to assess this quite quickly. But you can expect probably 4 or 5 lads to go out on loan that were probably on the fringes last season or coming through. Van der Berg, I don't think he'll go on loan. Shawnee, although I'm having this argument with Shawnee all morning, I think he will be in and around it, simply because of the amount of games he played in Holland. But we'll have to wait and see. Cleberson was the former Brazil player that had mentioned Dani Alves. Would you take Dani Alves? That's all I'm asking. 2 questions today. Would you take Dani Alves? And your favourite Firmino moment. Throw them in there, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Periscope, and we'll have a chat about it. James Pearce, last day at the Echo yesterday. Now James is a terribly nice guy. I'm going to tell you that for nothing. I've had the pleasure of speaking to him once or twice. Terribly nice guy. He leaves the Echo. I don't know where he's going. I don't think anyone knows where he's going. But us at the Trippers would like to wish him well. I know he gets an awful lot of stick from certain Liverpool fans because of his opinions on transfers, and when he gives out news, you know, bad news Pierce as they call them. But look, James has been there he's probably there about 8 years at the Echo, and he's done brilliant work. He's been on podcasts, he's done bits and pieces for us. He's always been helpful whenever asked. We wish him the best of luck. One quote that came from James Pearce in an interview, I think it was yesterday, he quoted Klopp when Klopp said there was no need to spend what was spent last year. Interesting, very interesting. But you have to remember, we did spend a lot last year. I don't think we'd spend as much as we did last year, but I don't think we're doing this 20-30 million. I really don't. But look, let's see what goes. Somebody says they wouldn't take Dani Alves. Then we have one saying they would. I think he splits opinion because not because of the type of player he is or the personality he is. I think it's the money that he'd be looking for, and as well as that. Listen, if Dani Alves come in on a decent money for Liverpool, a decent structure to it, and was willing to go in and help Trent Alexander-Arnold, but wouldn't scupper Alexander-Arnold's progress in this Liverpool side, yeah, no problem. Paul Taveley says no to Alves, too expensive. His experience would be great, but do we need to spend the money just for that? Yeah, it's a fair point. I think the money would be the big thing. If he was to agree to come in and be a player that pushes and helps Trent and covers when needed, and maybe play some games, give Trent a rest, and they help each other out throughout the season, great, but it'd have to be on the right money. Somebody says here, sometimes I lie in bed all day crying, eating chomps. Jesus, the chomp bar. There used to be one in Ireland, I don't know if anyone else got it. It was called a Smiley, which was a chomp, but it was orange flavour. I know that has nothing to do with Liverpool or football, but look, you put the comment in there, I'll go with it all day. Don't get us started on favourite chocolate or nostalgic chocolate. We'll be here all day. Toffee chomps, yeah, they were caramel. They were caramel with chocolate on top of them. They were a flat bar. They were about 10 pence years ago. But yeah, there was a Smiley version, as I said, an orange flavour. But we're not getting to. Look, if you want to throw in your favourite ever chocolate bar, walk away. I don't mind. I really don't. It's Saturday. There's very little happening in Liverpool transfer wise and stuff like that. So throw it in there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the start of pre-season. We'll all be watching these games. The Bradford and the Tranmere game is fine, and then it goes over to America, and we're staying up all night watching Liverpool. I might, if you want, I might watch a few games live, and we'll have a chat while the game is on. If you're up for that, I have no problem doing that. I usually sit up, have 1 or 2 drinks, watch the game, have a chat while we're watching the game. I done it last year. We had a bit of fun with it. It's not something I do all season, but it's something I do in pre-season. So if you want to do that, just let me know. Yeah, I've no problem being on screen and watching the match and having it on in the background, and we'll all have a drink together and a bit of crack. A Freddo bar, says Paul Taveley. Well, the problem with Freddo's was they were about 5 pence when they came out, and I think you're paying about 65 cents in Dublin. I don't know how much they are in pence. But the Freddo went through the roof, and then his caramel friend came out, and that wasn't good either. It just forced the prices up. Am I looking forward to pre-season? Absolutely, I always do. I always look forward to pre-season. I look not the star players we have. I like to watch players that are around the fringes are coming through and seeing how they're getting on, and seeing is there anybody there that can burst through and you know, be the next Trent or come in like Robertson and fly. You know, I'm really interested in that. Good to see the boys back in Melwood. Absolutely. It only feels like yesterday that we were winning European Cups, but no, the time goes so fast. A caramel Freddo was 25 pence now, says Barrett. Robbery, absolute robbery. That's about 32 cents, which is crazy. If they started at fucking 8 cents or 10 cents, mad. Caramel Freddo used to be called a Tazbar. Yeah, it did. Was it? Yeah, it was. Probably was. Yeah, Tazbars were alright. Chocolate was a bit hard on them, but other than that, I can't believe we're doing this, but we are. A Morrow bar, somebody else says, nah, Morrows are okay. Boosts were nicer. The Star bar is even nicer than that again. There we go. Star bar coming straight in, just as I'm saying that. The lads watching this won't be impressed that I'm talking chocolate on a Saturday instead of football, but listen, it's their show. Me and all of you, we can do what we want. Pepe, any news on Pepe? Yeah, it's still the same stuff that came out from their president. Now there was a thing on the Echo site this morning saying that Liverpool are in talks with agents or preparing. It's all this kind of preparing bids and stuff like that. I don't think anything happens till after the African Nations Cup and the Copa America ends with regards to any player. And I've said it before and I say it again, these tournaments end and then one big transfer happens and everyone sees where the lie of the land, and then we get going on transfers properly. I think a couple of teams have got in there early and done a bit of business. Madrid have done a bit of business. United have done one. Spurs have done two. Atletico Madrid have gone mad. That's a crazy situation, isn't it? With Atletico Madrid, they've signed that Joe Felix, isn't it, for 125 odd million. They've given him the number 7 jersey, and then they've decided to tell Barcelona they want all the money up front. They basically signed all these players and forgot to sell their asset that they needed to sell. Paul Tabley says Shaq needs a good pre-season, in my opinion. I don't want it to be forgotten about, and that's what you fear. Shaqiri, a bit of a rock and a hard place for Shaqiri at the moment. He is. It's hard to see him in a 4-3-3. I'd rather him in a kind of a 4-2-3-1, but we don't really play a 4-2-3-1 a lot. But then again, a signing we could make, like a Fernandez or one of these, could see us moving towards those sort of formations for certain games. You never know, but Shaqiri, I think Shaqiri kind of needs to find himself a position on the pitch and nearly stick to it. Although we like players that are versatile, I'd love to say Shaqiri plays off the right every so often and Salah goes up front to give Bobby a rest and things like that. And then you can say, yeah, look, if Bobby needs a rest, we can put Salah up there because Shaqiri's playing great down that side. I think when he's moved around a little bit, he loses his way. And, you know, don't get me wrong, the likes of Salah, Mane, Firmino, so versatile. Milner, Henderson even, so versatile. But Shaqiri probably needs to find a spot on the pitch and go from there. He's injured as well. He's there's a comment there. Yeah, he has a calf injury at the minute. I don't think it's anything major. I think he'll be okay. Does anyone think we are interested in Fernandez? It's a strange one. It's dragging on a bit like the Lit now. I've seen somebody on Twitter saying this is becoming as boring as the Lit. Again, there might be behind the scenes chats and informal chats. You know, there's a couple of Twitter accounts reporting that personal details have been agreed and we got information saying personal details were agreed with the player and agent. But now it's saying that the agent's on his way to England to discuss with 3 clubs. It could be just a case of him getting more money. There's no doubt there's stuff going on in the background, but I don't think anything solid will happen until these international tournaments end. And then the players get back. All these distractions are out of the way, and then clubs can properly do business. But you see, it's usually a domino effect. And for argument's sake, Lille probably want to get 1 or 2 signings in before they sell Pepe. Sporting Lisbon the same with Fernandez. You know, all these different things. So there's loads of different elements to this. So I think one of the biggest ones is the international tournaments. And look, we'll have to wait and see. There's no more chocolate bar talk coming up on the screen, which is good. Well, it wasn't. I enjoyed it. But that's ended. The Firmino moments, we only got 1 or 2. Firmino moment for me, Paris Saint-Germain at home, when he scores that late winner, massive for us. Subsequently, when you look at how the group went, massive for us. But just overall, his interaction with players, is the way he celebrates his goals and other goals. Constantly has a smile on his face. His work rate, he's excellent. He's an excellent player for Liverpool, and look, long may it continue. That's my word on Firmino. We'll call it a day there. That's us for the Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm trying to get Grizz out of his sick bed to come in and have a chat with me, but he, between being sick and trying to buy himself a bicycle, he's extremely busy. The Stoke screamer for Bobby, yeah, the one over the top, and he lashes her in the top of the net, and then throws off the jersey and goes everywhere. It's mad when you're watching the highlights, and some of them he has the number 11 jersey on, and some of them he has the number 9, and then you can kind of, in your own mind, remember at what time and what year that was. But yeah, that was a belter. Yeah, we leave it there. As I said, today's show came to you from More Than a Game, on Twitter at More Than a Game UK, and online la.co.uk. Put 2 hyphens between the LAs as well. But if you go and you find them at More Than a Game UK on Twitter, you can find all the links you need for all the shows, for all the bits and pieces they do. And we have sponsors for every show. And yeah, we'll be back next week. All the sponsors that have been on this week, I'd like to thank them all. They'll all be back again next week. Grizz is busy on Twitter. Not really. He's not really that busy on Twitter. He's fairly quiet. As I said, he's trying to sort himself out with a bicycle. That's a true story. But look, that's been us. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Thanks a million for joining us. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for the chocolate talk. Thanks for the Firmino talk. Share this. Share it with your friends. Subscribe on YouTube. Find us on Spotify. You can download it on your podcast apps. Thanks a million for your support all week. It's been the 4th week of this. We're trying to do this and grow it as we go. Thanks a million for all your support. It's been very, very good. It's been enjoyable all week. We'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll be back again on Monday for a brand new week. Hopefully more concrete news than we've had this week, but I'm enjoying the chats anyway, whether it's football, players, chocolate, whatever it is, I enjoy it. So thanks a million. See you tomorrow. Over now.